Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to integrate the cash-free payment gateway. So I was trying this payment gateway, and this is pretty much similar with the Stripe in the part of the integration because they also use a session ID, and this is also using a session ID. But Razorpay integration was different, as we have covered Razorpay, but I have never covered this when I was doing a live project on this. So I like to cover this out as well. So they have a very straightforward integration, and the integration process is very cool over here with 2025, and they have a dev studio as well. So let's explore this, how we are going to integrate this. So first you have to register, and I am on the test environment over here. And once you're on the test environment, you can see the summary and the transaction section. Over here, if you go to the order section, you can see there are a couple of orders that are activate and some are paid. Okay. And if you go into the payment section, you can see one paid exactly. So transaction payment is the payment which is has a successful transaction over here. On the top we have the developer option. First you have to click on the developer option and go on the API keys, where you will actually get the keys. If you have to generate keys first, and then you have to get the keys, and then these keys can be used. Now I am doing it on the Node.js. You can do it on TypeScript, on Python, on any of the language like Go. Language doesn't have a barrier over here, and I can do it with TypeScript as well. So this is what the package is looking like over here. Now they have a very good dev studio. This is something brilliant. This is should have with every payment gateway actually. So I have put my app ID and the secret key, and then this information, the SDK, the create orders, the loading session, everything is properly loaded over here. Now if I look into the integration part, let's see first what we have done. So I have made a pretty much small interface for integration of this. I will be covering this as well over here. Now first of all thing is that you have to go to the order section. In the order section, if I put something like 1000 rupees and create an order, that gives me a session ID. Now if I copy this session ID, I can do a lot of things with this session ID. Exactly. My order number is 393. So let's process. And I am giving option of what kind of payment method I can accept. That we will cover out as well over here. And if I click on the success, you have to wait some time, a little bit of 12 seconds to get it converted to a payment. Exactly. So the countdown is started, and it is moving on. It's moving on a little bit, and 1000 rupees success. Now it will redirect me to that exact location, the dev studio, where I can get the payment details. I'll just try now. That's all, and the information is given to me, right? This is the header, this is the information, everything I'm getting over here. Okay, so if I go into this section, if I go into the payment section, if I go into the order section, exactly, there is a 1000 rupees order has been created, and the payment of 1000 rupees has been payment created. You can refund that payment as well to the payment through the payment gateway to the exact person accounts which is doing over there. That can through it. But now if I go into the same section again, localhost or 3000, and there is a session ID process as well. I would like to show that. If I go over here, if I go suppose like 200, right, create. Once you create it, you copy the session ID, right? You can go to the dev studio as well and put this session ID over here and pay this. It will do the same work of this, right? And if you click on this, you can also do the testing from here. right? So this playground is absolutely brilliant. I have not found it in any of the payment gateways. Like there are phone pays, Stripe, the bigger names, but this is something incredibly helpful for a developer to integrate. Okay, so again it returns and give you the results and try, and it will get the information. This is giving the information exactly because I have put my app ID and secret key. If you do not put this, this will not work over here. So let's start with the integration process and how we can do this exactly. So I have a basic Node.js application with Express, and the APIs has been created all in the same areas and all in the same place. So this is my setup. Now there is a API called create order. Now I have created this API for just getting the response, exactly what is the response that is coming in and how is the payload. This is a very small required payload that need to be sent, right? This is a medium size payload that can be sent, and this is the full payload that can be sent as well. So in the full payload, if you open the full payload, you can see the card details, the card item. If you are doing an add to cart process or add to cart system, it will do the work right over here. And you can customer ID, phone number. You can, in the customer ID, you can put the customer ID as your database customer ID, and you can put the information of your database customer, and then create everything over here. And notify URL is something brilliant. If you have a webhook that has been set up in your account or in somewhere else, you have to push a notification, you have to push a something like that. That can be done with the notification, notify URL obviously. And payment method CC, DC and UPI. So you can allow the payments. What kind of payments do you? So there is a lot of comfort zone for the developers over here to manage and to process the things in your own hands. That's what I like on this payment gateway exactly. And so if you run this api.createOrder, you will get a response or a session ID. That session ID you can use either on the this kind of session ID either on this platform where you can put the session ID over here, or you can use my own interface over here. Like you can put the session ID over here as well. So it will give you the same results on this. Now, if I go into the code again, right, this is the API which is being called over here, and you can see I'm getting the amount. I'm putting the things over here, right? It's pretty much straightforward. There's nothing complicated in it and nothing rocket science in it. So it's pretty much straightforward. Just use this, get the response, parse the response, and you get everything. Now the order details, I'm not done the order details, but the API is there. One more thing is there that is very important in this scenario is that API.pay orders. This is something like if you go into this documentation, this is very important. You have to read the documentation as well. So if you go into this and if you go into the payment option, right, you will see all the payment methods that are there. So this PGPA order, right, is exactly what is doing on the, after putting the session ID, it's moving into the payment page, right? So if you want your own payment page to happen, like you wanted to integrate the system inside your system, you do not want it to redirect to Cashfree, then you use this PG order. Now it takes the card and details, right? So for making them, you have to put the session ID over here. And if it is a valid card, definitely this is not a valid card, this is a test card. If you use this, that payment will be done from his card, right? So this is how it is done over here. So you can use your own interface as well. So this is what we have covered out over here as well. Now, if you go into this section, if you go into this refund, you can refund this payment, right? The payment that has been done, you can refund this as well. And in the Dev Studio, you can obviously look into the other parts like getting the payment details and webhooks are there definitely. So I was covering this out from a client, and I thought it would be lovely to share with you how this payment gateway is changing the mode of Indian payment gateways as well. Razorpay is there, Stripe is there, but this is something really useful, and this is something the developer need in their hands to integrate some kind of payment, because we are integrating payment gateway very fast, right? We do not get so much time to integrate a payment gateways, right? So there it will help a lot. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my videos, do subscribe to my channels, and definitely I'm going to put all the details on the description. Thank you so much.